Welcome back, one and all, to Pod Stance, the Punk Stance podcast. It is me, once again, doing a little cheeky intro before the beginning of the second episode of Release Ramble. So thank you very much for going over and listening to that. It's done incredibly well. I'm very, very proud of it. And thank you to Stankfinger for actually coming on and being the first guest. It was a lovely chat. Just, you know, it was something different. I think as much as doing Albums That Save My Life has been the sort of crux of this podcast channel, as it were, for lack of a better term, I think it's good to sort of innovate and see what else would work. And I think this is definitely going to be something that will stick around. So thank you guys for checking it out. But I think mainly as I'm recording this, I'm in my living room. It might sound that there's some stuff outside my windows. It's not as soundproof, this room, to be honest. So it might sound a bit weird. But as of when this comes out, from what I can tell, I will be auditioning for a voluntary role at a local radio show. I don't exactly know how it's going to go, but it could be fun. But it's just something I've always wanted to try. I've been told I've been quite good at it, and I think doing this show and this podcast channel, as it were, has kind of proved to me that I can do it, I guess. I did it at university for like 3 years. I did a lot of talking and random rambles, as it were, so it was a nice way of... That was a nice sort of break from doing what I normally do at uni, and then I've come to actually do this while I'm working, and it's I don't know, it just kind of takes me back to when I was doing it at university, and it's been, and this is my own project, so obviously this has encouraged me to go out and see what other opportunities there are. So, I mean, obviously I wouldn't have been pushed forward to do this or been encouraged to do so without you guys and your support for this idea that I came up with in the shower, so... I mean, it's just a big thank you to everyone who's been listening. Big thank you to everyone who supported it. You know, any ratings, any comments, whatever. It's been, so gratifying to see a project like this work, and also to see the people that have come on and it really not changed them, but really opened them up a little bit more. You know, the kind of people I've had on, they're not exactly people I don't know. I mean, the bands, and we'll get to the band in this episode in a minute, but the people that I know who have come on, like my brother and some old friends, and I'm hopefully planning to get my parents on as well at some point, and a couple of other people from work. I think it shows them in a different light, not just to me, but the people that they share that to. I think Laura in particular, when she was talking about ABBA, a lot of that one's done really well with her friends and certain demographics that are different to my normal listeners. So it's been... very eye-opening, and it's just been, we're going to carry on. We've got to keep going. If this is going for one a week, I've got to keep myself bloody busy. And speaking of busy, we're getting on to our second release ramble, and that is with the New Jersey pop-punk-based band Wishful Thinking. Now, I contacted these guys about... God, when was it? It must have been a couple of months ago now, on their recent single, Water Bottle. And that was great. I was a huge fan. I did a little write-up about it. And I was thinking about this idea around the time, but didn't know how to approach it with a band from overseas, obviously, because they're from New Jersey. And I thought maybe I could do it online, maybe I could do it via some Zoom-based thing. And it worked. I refused to pay for Zoom, so I only got 40 minutes, and then I had to do a second 40-minute meeting. But hey-ho, you just play with the cards you dealt. Or if I wanted to pay, I'm not paying £130 for Zoom. Like, it's just, no. It works the way it does. But after we'd had our conversation about their previous single, they told me that they had a new one coming out in sort of earlier part of the year. And I thought, well, this would be a perfect opportunity. Let's tie it in and see how we do. And as a result, we've had a brilliant conversation. They're such nice guys. I've got seemingly friends for life about 5,000 miles away. And it's given me sort of an incentive to actually go to New Jersey and just be part of the scene. And I've always got a place to stay with them. And I think they're just such genuine chaps. They love what they do. They love the band. And you can definitely tell in their new track, Wanted, that officially, I think it was today that they announced it, comes out on the 29th of February. So it's quite a unique day, considering the leap years and all that. And I think it will be a unique track to go with that day. But they talk about loads of other stuff about the New Jersey scene, about what it's like to just be a pop-punk band in general, and how the scene has changed. Because it's an ever-growing scene. Things are always happening. They're just a bit all over the place now, but I think this is probably the best the genre has been for a very long time. And I also get a sneaky album that saved my life in there for about 15 minutes, just learning about the band's influences and stuff like that. So it's been great fun. They were such lovely guys to chat to, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I did. So this is Wishful Thinking's brand new single, Wanted, that comes out on February the 29th. And I'll see you on the other side.
Can you see us?
I can't see you, but you can almost definitely. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we are.
Yes.
We are still waiting on one more. I just clicked the link to make sure it was all kosher and it all
That's
worked.
that's that's fine. I mean, this is the most this is the strangest thing I've done in a while, so I'm still figuring out. I mean, it's pitch black outside for me. That's what's weird about it.
Oh, well, the sun's just starting to go down now.
Oh, that's I don't like that. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting, like I'm in the future.
Yeah, you are, bro.
It's really strange.
Future.
Well, who are we waiting on? Can we start without him?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
since it's late for you.
Oh,
You're waiting, man.
that's
The
just
tour bus just got done with not too long
typical,
ago.
really. Well, we've got three quarters of the team. That's what matters. That's fine. And I see you've joined me in the hat inside mode as well. Two of you have at least.
Of course, dude. It's chilly outside. We got to keep the top of the ears warm, you know?
No, absolutely. No, I completely agree. Well, thank you for coming on. I'm glad this has actually worked out. Considering I messaged you, what was it, like a month ago when Water Bottle came out? I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly when it was. It was a couple of months ago now.
Yeah,
Um,
Water Bottle came out October. Yeah,
Yeah.
October.
yeah. How's it been since then?
It's been awesome. Yeah, the reception to the single has kind of been above our expectations, and we're super excited about that. Yeah, just it's been great. Looking forward to the next one.
Well, exactly. I mean, if I remember this correctly when you messaged me, Wanted is the next one.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure. What's the build up to that? Have you got it finished? Is it all prepped? Is it ready to go? Or are you just finalizing it?
So yeah, we have it. We have the master back. It's been mixed. It's been everything's been done on it, production wise. Now we're just well, actually after we get done this, we're gonna do some promo stuff for it, get some videos. But yeah, we're just gonna try to push it in different ways that we did with Water Bottle. I think we did a good job of kind of thinking outside the box and making something unique with Water Bottle and pushing it that way. And we hope to kind of do something similar but different this time around with Wanted.
Yeah. And what is this Wanted about? What's the unique twist on this one?
Well, I mean, the song is about it's about a relationship, just
Hmm.
kind of going all in on something with someone and being there for somebody. So it's just kind of taking the we're really taking on the theme of being wanted, you know.
Quite literally.
Have to wait
Yeah,
and see. That's all we can really
I don't want to
say.
give too much away.
No, of course. No, absolutely.
Pretty much. It's open to interpretation. But it's gonna be sick, and we're super excited to have you guys like listen to it. So
No,
Yeah.
no, it's hyping up, that's for sure. Like I think when I listened to Water Bottle initially, because I think that was the first time I'd heard about you guys, and I've just looked through all your back catalogue now, and I was like, man, what's the New Jersey scene like? Because I visited New York fairly recently, back in April of last year, and I was having a look around there, and the scene was fairly decent. But what's it like across state lines?
I mean, I would say it's kind of similar to New York, but not as compact. I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts, Stephen? I mean, I've never been in New York.
I mean, as far as like the bands that we play with, most of them are kind of from all over the place. Like we play with this one band who's from Philly, another good group of dudes, Card Reader, they're from New York.
Yeah.
All Systems Goes from Jersey as well. So like our buddies are kind of spread out within the tri-state area. So I guess the scene's pretty good on our end too.
Mm.
The scene does seem to be thriving. It seems to be coming back. Every show we've played in New Jersey has been fairly packed out. It's been pretty well attended, I would say, each and every one. A lot of the bands that we tend to find ourselves playing with are from Philly. So we're kind of getting grouped more into like the Philly music scene, which also seems to be bumping.
Yeah. Sounds like it's sort of up and coming as much as it was 20 years ago or so. It's definitely the modern scene is really
Definitely.
taking off.
It's
Yeah.
like a new
coming
wave.
back.
Yeah.
It's coming back, and we're riding the wave, man.
Well, exactly. You're becoming a part of it. What was it that sort of initially brought you to that? Because I know you had We're Not Alone, your original EP back in 2016, if I remember correctly. Um, that was your very first record. Like, what started you into the modern New Jersey pop punk scene, as it were?
Well, We're Not Alone was written and recorded in like 2016 or 2015, I think.
2015,
And then
yeah.
we put it out in 2016. And then we took a couple years and we wrote the album After Hours during the pandemic. We recorded it, got it all out. And then we were kind of hit with an opportunity. We never had a steady drummer until Dylan joined the mix, and Dylan is the one that's absent. But until he kind of agreed to be a part of the band, it was like, what are we doing? We're just recording music. We weren't playing shows. We weren't really doing anything outside of just recording music and then putting it out for people to hopefully listen to. And then Tom from Card Reader reached out. He said, hey, I'm coming through New Jersey. I'd really love to play a show with you guys. And it was kind of at a moment where we were all like, hey, are we going to be part of the scene? Are we going to be part of the conversation? Or are we just going to not?
Yeah.
Putting out music and not really
not?
doing anything with it. And it was like, we wanted people to listen to us and we had to get in front of those people somehow.
Yeah.
So with that opportunity came us reaching out to Dylan. Dylan said yes. And we never looked back. We've made countless connections with other bands, some lifelong friends at this point, some of the coolest and nicest people we've ever met. So we really owe a lot to Tom from Card Reader for asking us to be part of it first. We owe a lot to Dylan for saying yes to drumming with us, because without those two guys, we would not be part of
Yeah, we'd
the
not be
music
sitting
scene.
here talking to you. Pretty much.
It all leads somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, for
Exactly.
sure.
Oh, brilliant. Well, so what about you three who are actually attending? Like, how did you guys initially sort of become one, as it were?
Well, me and Ev went to high school together, and I've known Matt since we've been about 5 or 6. So me and Ev would play guitar and a bunch of instruments with our other buddies in his garage, just get drunk and just have a good time with the friends. And then after high school, we kind of just decided we were going to start writing music. Matt hit me up. He was like, I got a bass. Let's write stuff. Introduce these two. And then it's kind of just taken off since then as Wishful Thinking. So,
And where did the name Wishful Thinking come from?
it was just like a list of names.
Yeah, we just like,
We
you know what I mean? We came out, yeah, which one's the best?
It was
one?
like we kind of just thought of a bunch of phrases, a bunch of the cliche pop punk lines, a bunch of things that you wouldn't normally think of, and Wishful Thinking was what we kind of all agreed sounded the best across the board for all three of us. It's also like we've kind of put a new meaning on it, because with the opportunity to play shows live and to kind of be a band the right way, it was like thinking back when we first started the band, it's like, oh, well, all we ever wanted was for people to listen to us. Like that alone is wishful thinking, right? People listening to the music that you make. And now it's kind of like, now we want even more people to listen to us. Now we're getting numbers that we're happy with. And it's not about the numbers, of course, but we want more and more people to hop on the wishful thinking bandwagon as we go.
Because I was thinking when I saw it, well, you might know, but there was Neck Deep. One of Neck Deep's album was obviously called Wishful Thinking back in 2014. And I thought it might have come from that, but I wasn't sure.
I think that's what brought it into the conversation, but we're not huge Neck Deep fans, truthfully. So we won't claim that as the reason.
Yeah,
but that might have been where we were like, hey, like
it's a cool sounding.
That's a cool sounding name for a band.
Well, I guess speaking of anyone that's not Neck Deep, where are like your major inspirations from? Because obviously you would have quite a local scene, but are there any UK bands that got really big, or any bands around the world that really inspired the band, like you guys yourself?
For sure. Well, we all have a lot of different musical tastes, but I'd say across the board, we love Blink-182. We love Newfound Glory, Jimmy Eat World, just like the old early 2000s
pop, the classic era.
Yeah. But as far as like true inspiration, I think I speak for all of us. When we started working with Nick Bruzzese, formerly of Man Overboard, who's been far, and just working with him and seeing how that dude operates and writes songs and gets his point across, that's truly inspirational. Like that's what makes us want to write the best music that we possibly can, is going in and seeing this dude work his ass off, and we want to match that energy just as much. We try not to sound like anybody, but we're all influenced by different people. But I think those are the big three, like Blink-182, Newfound Glory, in Jimmy Eat World. And then personally, Nick Bruzzese of Man Overboard. That dude rocks.
Have you taken a lot of your own personal creative process from Nick, or have you sort of just taken inspiration from what he does and run with it in your own way?
I'd say it's more inspiration from what he does and running with it. I'm in school for like audio production. And so obviously when I go and we work with Nick, I kind of try to absorb as much information from that aspect of him as well. So then I take what I kind of leached off of him, not so much just from conversation, but just watching what he's doing. I try to take that, and then when we're all jamming or when we're doing demos, I'm like, what would Nick do? How can I approach this in a way that serves the song? You know what I mean? Like, just so the inspiration's there, but I try not to exactly copycat what one would do.
But he's always in your mind.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, he also gives a different perspective on things too, which is when you're trying to write a new song or like a piece of work, it's super helpful to have like that other perspective and like third party eye to come in, where you can say, why are you doing this here? This would sound better on this end, or vice versa, and stuff like that. So it's always a learning curve, but it's always fun. And then, like he said, we just bring it back together, and then when we start writing, just conjugate everything into one piece, and then.
Yeah, he definitely brings the best out of our group. I would say that 100%. Since the moment we started working with him, back in 2015. We've been working with him
almost
since
10 years now.
Yeah, it's been with our first
Wow.
EP.
Yeah, holy shit.
You know,
almost a decade. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Goes fast, doesn't it?
It
Wow.
does, dude. It's crazy, man.
Blink of an eye. Going. Wow.
Man. Well, so like with something like Wanted that's coming out, was he part of that process as well?
It was actually the first time we wrote a song with him.
Yeah.
So typically we'll write our songs, I'll demo them out, record everything, get the basic structure of the song, and then we'll go to Nick, we'll say, hey, these are the songs, we just want to record them, make them the best they can possibly be. And he does exactly that. But this time we had an idea that we had, I think it was an intro.
It's like a 30-second intro.
Yeah, it was like a 30-second voice memo of Steve playing guitar that we showed to Nick, and we were like, we want to do something with this. We have a few ideas of which way to take it.
He said, okay.
We can't really decide. We want you to decide, right? So that's exactly what he did. He took it, he listened to it. He's like, can you send me this? Like, I think I can get some ideas. The next day, he had pretty much an entire structure laid out for us.
He said, this is what I'm thinking.
Wow.
We just hammered it down in our style, made it a Wishful Thinking song, and now it's one of our favorite songs. It's one of my favorite songs of the new recent ones that we've done.
Top tier.
Just because it was so cool to finally write a song with Nick. This was the most involved he had been in the songwriting process with us. And I think the result is something super, super cool. But
It's
still
amazing.
To us.
Yeah, it's amazing how people's brains work like that when you can just give them a 30-second voicemail and they go, I know exactly what to do with this. I know where this goes.
It was amazing to see.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
Cogs turning. Oh man. Well, so do you guys, all four of you, when the fourth one eventually turns up, do you sort of have your own little meetings and go, okay, this is the kind of way we want it to go? Do you do it before production? Do you have your own little like meetups and think, okay, this is how we're going to start a new song. This is how we're going to get these ideas into it.
So
I'd say for sure. I mean,
yeah, it usually just starts
sure.
with a riff on the computer, and then from there we take it to Dylan. That's where we practice at his house, and then we kind of just build off of. Because we haven't really,
I would say,
written new material since
most band
maybe had our
meetings
stuff together.
are kind of tied in with our band
We don't have different
practices.
So we don't really know. Like,
yeah, I mean, usually a song starts with like a riff idea or like a lyric idea or like a chorus idea between me and Nev. And then either we'll each independently build off of that and then we'll come together, or we'll, during like one of our practices or one of our demo days where we're just hanging out, then we'll collectively sit and say, oh, well, I think it should go this way, or maybe it should go this way. And then that's when like the creative process really starts kicking in, because then we're bouncing ideas off each other. We're trying to get one coherent idea in between the three of us. And that's pretty much how like the magic's made, I'd say. And then we bring it to Dylan. Then Dylan does Dylan things. And we're like, all right, well, this part's got to get scrapped because that was sick, you know?
Yeah, we try to get the basic layout of the song done amongst us. or at least Steven and I, or at least two of us on the same page. This way, when we bring it to practice, we have a general idea of what we want to do, where we want to go with it. And it's just like, what's your flavor on it, right? Like, let's get Dylan to do his drum thing on it. Maybe it changes the whole vibe. Maybe it sparks a new idea. Who knows? And then as we work that out, naturally, our practices always run forever because
just having a good time.
We chop it up in between songs. Like we're talking about like what we can do with it, like how can we promote it, how can we get creative with it. So it's always, everything is always happening at once.
Yeah,
Dylan's here.
Started, dude.
Hey! Hey! The band's all here at long last.
Thank God here.
Well, finally, we have our quartet. Lovely to see you in all wearing very different colours as well.
Yeah,
It's nice. We've got a unique set of 4 people. I love it.
we're a colorful bunch.
Yeah, no, I can tell. Perfect. Well, now that there's all 4 of you here, actually, that's a perfect way to move on to the next bit because you were talking about the unique flavour of those meetups as a band. Like, what would you say makes that the wishful thinking unique flavour? What's your sort of defining style compared to everyone else?
I don't know, man. We're
just a bunch of guys being dudes, I guess.
Guys being dudes.
No, I don't have an answer for that.
I don't think that's for us to decide what sets us apart. I think we just kind of do what we do. And I think you guys can determine.
Yeah.
Makes us sicker than anybody else.
Yeah, like that. That's your job. Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
I think we're dope. I think we rock. But Wishful Thinking is my favorite band. So
As it should be. Yeah.
So,
definitely my favorite band in this room right now. Absolutely.
Definitely my favorite band on this call right now, this second. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Common interest. That's beautiful.
Real. All right. Well, now obviously with Wanted coming up, I think looking back into your other singles as well, do you all 4 of you have like an individual song from your discography that you like the most? Because I was looking through and you had like After Late Nights, you had Consequences and Critically Acclaimed, and you had so many other singles in there as well. Are there any that really stand out to all of you guys as a group or just individually?
I mean, I really like Constant High off of our album After Hours. That's always been one of my favorite songs.
Playing it's probably one of my favorites.
And that's why the energy live is
that
incredible.
And No Doubt. Those are my 2 favorite to play live. They're just so much fun.
Yeah,
they're just a blast the whole way, start to finish.
I would also Constant High is for sure one of my favorite songs to play. So listen, I love Preoccupied. That song's dope as hell.
Yeah.
Better Days holds a special place in my heart.
Everyone always asks about that song too.
Yeah, they
Just
always want us to play it.
I don't know, that one's so different to me. I never thought we would write a song like that as Wishful Thinking. But we have yet to play it live.
That's a true story.
Maybe that'll change.
That needs to change.
What do you think is so different about it in comparison to the others?
Well, it's just, I mean, like we're a pop punk band at the end of the day, and it's just like
that's why you're here.
That's our slow, groovy, dancey song. That and Number 5, they're very heavily inspired by like Turnover, The Cure, stuff like that.
Number 5.
But so it jumps from like in your face, fast paced, fun pop punk to like a melancholy, chill kind of dream vibe. So, and that's cool to me. That's really cool.
Nicely put. Thank you. Nicely put.
You're good with words.
We have the wordsmith of everyone, the general speaker. Yeah.
Can you tell?
Well, with 4 people, it's sometimes one person just goes to the front and goes, right, I'm going to say all my bits. But I think there's a nice. You clearly both all have like a thing to say about this band because you're also just very passionate about it. I think that's great. You can all tell that you're very invested.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we try. I mean, when we make our songs, we pour everything we have into it.
Yes.
As you would. Well, what about for the future? I mean, obviously there are songs you haven't played, and there are like, I don't know whether there's an EP or an album coming out. I'm not going to ask because Wanted's got enough secrecy around it, but I'm sure I'll find out. But what are your sort of general goals and aspirations as a band now? Is it just to carry on doing what you're doing, or are you going to broaden out a bit?
Definitely to expand up the East Coast a little bit because we kind of just hung around Philly and South Jersey area, North Jersey. So we want to start hitting some different states, heading up north, and maybe go out west one day.
Mhm.
That's definitely one of our goals.
Definitely growing and expanding, just trying to find new outlets, different ways to have fun, enjoy it, keep letting things move in the right progressive state, I guess you can say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think playing a lot more shows moving forward, maybe not a lot more, but just playing more shows, broadening our horizons and playing to new people, playing to different people. Because like that's what's made this band succeed. When we finally started to play shows, people for the first time got eyes and ears on us, and they're like, damn, like that's what this band is about. And we want to be able to go places and show other people what this band's about, and hopefully have success and have a lot of fun doing it, because this has been so sick to be able to play shows and rock with these boys.
Yeah, it just keeps getting more fun as we go too.
Definitely.
Each time it just keeps getting more and more fun.
Yeah. And it's like we just, even when we show up and like we feel like we're not feeling our best or we're not playing our best, it just, at the end of the night, it always feels like a practice night with the boys. Just a practice night where a bunch of people showed up to hang out.
And I noticed the people that show up to hang out, it seems that circle keeps getting slowly bigger. And it is such a good feeling. Every time it's like a new friend jumps in, and like everyone kind of stays pretty loyal to that circle. So it's been a really good time.
Yeah. Do you have any like highlights from the shows that you've done so far?
The time that everybody dressed as Philly sports mascots, that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, for Halloween we had a Halloween show, and we all dressed up as Philly sports mascots. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You three killed it. you three kicked ass on that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I'd say we play a record store in my hometown pretty frequently. Tunes. I would say the most recent show we just did there in November was one to remember. Just the attendance was awesome. It felt like a packed house. Every band rocked.
Yeah, there was nothing negative about that show.
Yeah,
at all.
Vibes were at an all-time high. I had strangers coming up to us saying that they loved the band. They'd seen us before, but this time was just like elevated for some reason. It was just a really satisfying night as a band, I think. And for me personally.
Yeah, no, of course. And do you think like when you get into those live shows, when you have people actually turning up and genuinely being there, do you think those are like individual turning points for the band when you see, when you get a tangible look at the people that are supporting you? That must feel pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Especially when people whose names we don't know or faces that we're not necessarily familiar with, it's pretty awesome when they start to kind of like little bits and pieces where they end up knowing the words to stuff, and you're like, I've never met you and you know this song like that. Yeah, that means so much. That is such a cool feeling.
Yeah, we are starting to have people sing the songs back to us. And that's been something that you hear a lot of bands describe, but it's something you don't know until it happens, and it's just been really cool. I'm waiting to see it on a bigger scale now.
Yeah, well, you've got at least one fan in the UK. That's what I'll tell you.
Nice.
Well, have you ever? I can only presume that at some point you'd like to come here or just like abroad somewhere.
That's the goal.
You're not kidding.
To the UK.
That'd be so sick.
Maybe this year, maybe next year. Who knows? But
who knows?
On our list, man. It's on our list.
How much do you think an Uber would cost us to get there? just
goodness, that's a bloody good question. Uber from New Jersey through the Atlantic to London.
$20.
I don't know, 50, maybe a cheeky 15 grand. Just if you've got that lying about.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if not, I'll find a way to get to New Jersey. I will do a deal.
That works.
You got multiple places to stay out here, buddy.
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. Well, I don't know if I could fit all four of you in my one room, but we'll figure something out.
Absolutely.
We'll give it a bloody good go.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, like, with the travel and all that, that's got to be part of the fun. But have you had any sort of challenges or difficulties along the way to get to this point, or has it been pretty smooth sailing?
So far, I think it's been pretty smooth sailing.
Knock on wood. It's been, the waves have been pretty calm. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some shows fall through. But we've been blessed where we haven't been like hit with car trouble on the way to a show or like on the way home from a show.
Yeah, either direction.
Like we've been pretty blessed that a lot of the shows are either in our immediate area, or when we travel out, we don't hit a lot of traffic. We don't have a super hard time getting
It's the small things, isn't it?
Yeah, we've really been very fortunate to not run into anything. It's been relatively smooth sailing so far.
No one's even thrown up in a car yet. It's pretty awesome.
That actually,
surely.
we haven't had to pee in any Gatorade bottles or anything yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're making out okay.
So far, so good. Yeah.
I can only imagine that that's going to carry on with the new singles. Have you got any more planned for this year? Can you tell me that?
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
We're planning for 2024 to be
We're
a huge year.
Wow.
Much larger than the previous. Yeah. Just kind of progressive in a progressive state at this point.
Water bottle was just the start.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's much excitement. Well, you sound very confident. I can't argue with that at all. I like it.
We feel confident.
The mix of that and excitement.
These are
of course, yeah.
Some of our best songs. We're hyped about it.
Definitely the best songs we've ever written.
Yeah,
we're excited to show you guys like these brand new songs, just because, like Matt said, they're the best that we've written so far.
And it feels like the gears are finally turning without any hiccups. Like it kind of feels like things are starting to pick up pace. We're on a progressive level. Like we're finally starting to like be able to move pretty efficiently. Where we're at that point, everyone kind of starting to be able to read each other's minds and like, oh, I'm going to put this part here with this, and it just kind of all falls together really, really smoothly. So I hope it continues that way.
Do you think that was that a recent thing when you started realizing like, oh, things are actually free flowing quite well?
Writing the last set of some of the newer stuff, it was surprisingly smooth, like to the point where like, oh, I wrote this, and they bring it to practice, and then we talk about it and we play along to it. It's like, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like we wouldn't have to talk to each other about it too much. It was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. So it's been working really nice. Like everybody kind of ends up on the same wavelength for the most part, and it's been fun. I'll just put it that way. It's been a lot of fun.
Is that how you define the sort of quote unquote pop punk experience? It's just good, clean fun.
Yes, I think
fun. I don't know how clean it gets.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time for sure.
If our parents are around, it's definitely clean fun.
If our parents are there,
I mean, has to be, doesn't it?
I
no other choice.
We are respectful and gentlemen to a degree. Mom's watching, you gotta behave.
Yeah. Oh, of course, yeah.
We're trying to make fun again. Make music fun again. You know what I mean?
Make music fun again. Brilliant. And it sounds like your family and general close friends must be very supportive as well.
Oh, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Grateful for that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can go a bit wrong when you I don't know, maybe you're playing and then if your parents will come in and go, what is that? What are you doing? What is going on? My brother is actually quite a big like post-hardcore fan. And every time he puts music on, my mum just goes, I don't like listening to this. Please stop.
What are they saying? How do you understand what they're saying?
I know.
So angry.
I know that one firsthand. Yeah.
But that's the thing, because I think I've got two brothers and we've all taken very different routes sort of music-wise. I'm very definitively pop punk, as basically everyone I know now knows. My younger brother's sort of gone the metal post-hardcore route, and my older brother's gone the sort of indie garage route. Is it the same for you guys? Did you all come from fairly different musical backgrounds and come together, or did you all just have a pop punk feeling? Because I know you mentioned like Newfound Glory, Jimmy Eat World, that kind of thing. Did you all come from that?
Growing up, I feel like it was a common interest, but I feel like everyone's kind of played a little bit different stuff throughout the years.
Yeah.
But collectively, that was a common interest amongst everybody.
Yeah, Dylan plays drums in a metal band in New Jersey called The Baylor.
Yeah, we play
Fucking
metalcore.
But so like he's got metal influence. I grew up a huge country fan, and then I found rock and roll. But I still, I love a little bit of everything. Steven listens to mainly pop punk, but
I like early 2000s, hip hop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like we try to take a little bit of what we all like, but obviously we keep pop punk or just rock and roll in mind.
That's the premise.
The alternative rock,
But it's like, how can we do like hardcore stuff in pop punk? How can we do like R&B stuff in pop punk? How can we integrate these different things and make cool, interesting sounds?
Keep it pop punk, but throw a little flair and a twist.
A little flavor.
Yeah, just a little sparkles in there,
Little sprinkle.
Make it look nice. Make it look nice.
Well, have you ever thought about experimenting further in the songs coming up, or have you experimented in the songs coming up? You might already have done so.
Absolutely.
We have dipped our feet into it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We're doing some different things with these songs. That's for sure.
Yep.
And that's all I'm gonna get.
That's all you're
That's
gonna
all
get.
you know.
I should have known. I should have known. This is what's difficult about this job, is trying to get things out of people that they just refuse to talk
We don't
about.
want to tell you. We want
It's
to
just,
show you.
it's just so exciting for us because it's
Right.
like, yeah, we want
Words
you
will
guys to
not
see
do
it.
us justice. You got to,
Yeah.
you know, you got to get the full experience because we can talk about it and you're gonna be like, yeah, cool. When you hear it, you're gonna be like, yes.
Yeah.
Friends, like, I bought you a present, but I can't tell you what it is yet. And
Yeah.
just like, oh, fuck, dude, I really want to show it to you right now.
I'm so bad at that though. Like, what was it I did for Christmas? It's like I bought a present about 8 days early and went, "Do you just want it now? Do you just want to have it? Just could you open it now? I'm really excited to show it to you." So I'd be useless. I'd be absolutely useless in that field. But you're holding it well because I'm really trying to find out what you're doing.
Believe that we're very excited about it.
Yeah.
Especially when we heard it all finished for the first time, we were all kind of like, damn.
Mhm.
Yeah. All came together. Well, have you been doing? You mentioned a lot of promo stuff as well. Like now you're on this podcast, obviously you're getting the name out. But are there any other things you've been doing to help with that?
Just trying to make videos, trying to find new ways to, like, it's all about getting in front of people, right? Like, how can we capture their interest? So, like, with Water Bottle, we hopped on the TikTok wave. We made a few TikTok videos. We tried some ad promo. Well, actually, we didn't do any ad promos for Water Bottle. We found a creative way to kind of promote the song without banging in your head. Hey, we have a song coming out in 5 days. Hey, we have a song coming out in 4 days.
Big things coming.
We have a song coming out in
big
3
things
days.
coming.
You know, so like we're trying to beat that same message over the head, but to where you look at it and it's new and refreshing each time. Where it's like you still either you get a chuckle or you're like, oh hey, like I hadn't thought about that. Like with Water Bottle,
Right.
we every day we posted just pictures of water bottles with like the pre-save.
Fair enough.
No countdown, not trying, just like water bottles.
Very proper way of
water bottle on the street.
Like,
Yeah,
you
just
get it.
captured water bottle in the
very
wild.
proper way of marketing that. I mean, what else could you do?
After you hear it's called Water Bottle, you see a water bottle, you're from the Wishful Thinking page, that's about the song, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like we're gonna try to approach Wanted and our future singles kind of in the same vein. Like, how can we make you see it, and even after you've seen it 11 times, you still care about
Like
it?
you're not tired of it. Yeah.
Like you still care even after it's been on your story every single day for the past 2 weeks.
What's the general response been from the marketing so far?
So we've gotten pretty positive feedback.
It's been, I don't think I've heard anything negative for the
Yeah.
most
Well,
part.
that's always a good sign.
It's all been upbeat.
We did a video for Water Bottle where I'm in a chair and they just kept adding more water bottles onto the chair throughout the, like every cut,
Yeah.
there'd be another water bottle added, another cut, 5 water bottles added. And that one, every time I ran into somebody that I knew that followed the band, they were like, "What's with all the water bottles? What's going on?" And we were like, "Oh, well, you'll see.
Just
Don't
have to
worry,
wait
you'll
and
see."
see.
It'll all make sense in the end. Big
And
guy.
That's the kind of joke I would pull. I love it.
Exactly. And then we announced, "Hey, new song titled Water
Water
Bottle."
bottle.
Everybody's
Oh,
that's what. Yeah. So
You
it
mu-
was the general interest and
But we had you hooked at
curiosity.
that point. Yeah, we had you hook, line, sinker at that point.
Mm.
You finally see it, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, it makes a ton of sense now." That's
Yeah.
fun.
And you have a lot of fun with it, I imagine. Just
Oh,
with that one alone, it sounds like you just have an idea and go, "Yeah, let's do that. Job done."
That's exactly how it is. It'll be us bullshitting, and if we start laughing, we'll be like, "Write that down. What was that?
Write
What's
this down.
Let's go with that."
Yeah, everyone here has a pretty keen sense of humor too. So that's
Yeah.
it definitely works in our favor for the most part.
But that's such a large part that I think a lot of people forget about being in a band. I think, the main part about it is just to have a good laugh, because otherwise, you don't get a lot of inspiration from just mindlessly writing stuff. You have to have that little sort of excitement from doing it, and I think it's very clear that you guys have it. So
Thank you. Yeah, we try to have as much fun as possible, as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, what do you guys do outside? Is there anything that you do outside of the music that keeps that energy going?
Usually stamp collections, Tupperware parties, sewing circles.
I was just going to say, yeah, knitting or crocheting. Yeah, that's got to get the adrenaline pumping.
Exactly. It's a total adrenaline rush.
I mean, we all work full time. Dylan works fucking 80 hours a week sometimes, most of the time. So like,
I commend you, sir.
Actually, sorry, that's why I was late. I'm not gonna lie.
so music's our release. Man.
You are forgiven.
This is our hobby.
Yeah.
We work 40 hours, and then
Mhm.
it's like, hey, we all have an afternoon. Let's get together and jam, have a
Yeah.
couple beers, have a good time. And that's what I mean. Like our jams are like 4 hours long,
Mhm.
and we play the set maybe twice, which is like a 30-minute set. So it's like we're always having fun. We're always chopping it up. Because like if you're just doing it as like it is a brand, it is our business technically. But if you just treat it as such, then it's like I'm just punching in for another job. I already work 40 hours a week. We already work all this time.
Yep.
Like
Once it becomes work, it stops being fun.
And
Exactly.
Not having fun.
And the fun has never even slowed
No.
down.
Yeah, not
It's
even
just
not
getting
one
more
bit.
fun, man.
yeah,
Hey, I love it.
Yeah. Do you not get tired at all?
we do. Yeah, but
Kind of
You just come back from work and you're like, maybe I don't want to do any wishful thinking today. Surely that's
dude, there's so many times I'll wake up to go to work and like we're jamming afterwards. I'm like, damn, like, do I really want to go? But then by the time you're done, and then by the time you get there and the vibe's up, everybody's ready to jam. It's
I'm glad I came.
yeah, it's like I'm glad I came. In the next few hours,
It's
just
just
all cool, man.
It's all laughing and joking. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, everyone like one person will usually bring it up. Like, damn, dude, it's like 9:45. We're like, no, there's no way. And everybody's still enjoying themselves, having fun. We're like, damn, like, yeah, it's going on 10 p.m. already. Like, we've been here for like 4 or 5 hours.
We
like,
got work tomorrow.
Yeah, we gotta get at 5 a.m.
It's like there's no way time just moved that quick.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nice though. At the end of it, it's no matter how tired you are, it's still refreshing.
Yeah.
It's definitely something like you've said. We all are super passionate about. We all love this band. We
Mhm.
love to play. So like,
And each other.
yeah, and we love each other.
Yeah, we always love each
We
other.
love to play with each
Shut
other.
Even my boys for life,
Cute. I like it.
So yeah, any opportunity for us to get together, yeah, we could all be dead tired. We might be assholes to each other. But once we start playing and like we have a good run, we're like, yo, we're so sick. Like, why are we so good? Why are we
Yeah.
so
Better not be.
You
I ain't
just
going.
got back.
You just got back. See what I mean? Like,
I'm not going.
I just had a very fun interaction with my roommate. So I went down and he went, how's it all going? I went, yeah, it's going good. And he went, did they comment on your accent yet? And I went, oh, no, not really. I think they already knew I was British. And he went, oh, maybe you should go upstairs and say, oh, I was just getting my water bottle. And he had no idea that we were talking about that song. He's never heard of you guys before. That's genuinely true. That just happened.
Subliminal marketing.
Yeah, and also my surname is Buxton, and you might not know, but in England, Buxton is a very famous water bottle brand.
okay.
So there you go. There's a fun fact for you. It's all coming together. It's like we were born to do this.
Right. We're
meant
mates
to be
for life.
here. Right
Meant
now.
to be here, exactly. Well, I will move on to something slightly different because I don't know if I told you, but the other half of this podcast is obviously the albums that saved my life section, where it talks about like the kind of albums that have helped you along the way and that kind of thing. Do you guys individually or collectively have like one or two albums from the pop punk scene or generally that have really inspired where you are now and have inspired like the recent songs that you've written?
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, Peripheral
I do,
Vision
yeah.
definitely from Turnover
Yeah.
inspired me a lot.
I would say Peripheral Vision by Turnover is a big one for all of us.
Hard Feelings by Major League definitely got me into playing bass. So that's what inspired me to do pop punk in general. So
I'll say the album that got me into rock and roll was American Idiot, Green Day.
Okay.
That's
Celebrating 20 years this year.
that album is up here for me, man. Like that album made me love rock and roll, made me want to play guitar like a madman. That's probably one of my biggest influences. Recently, Peripheral Vision, Turnover, and then I'm a huge fan of the self-titled album by The Story So Far.
Oh, same.
Front to back,
Yeah.
banger after banger
Straight
after
through.
banger.
I think what you don't see is probably my favorite, but
That is up there too, man. Both of them.
what
But
you don't see is fire.
it's not a very nice record, the self-titled.
It's brutal.
Album. But when it came out, it was kind of what I was going through. So I very strongly connected with it. I loved it. Everything about that album was a stepping point for me, just as a person, as a songwriter, everything. Loved it.
Wow, nice. What about you? Any other guys have any sort of ones that are lurking underneath that really got you here?
I'm gonna pull the mainstream dorky card here, but one of my big ones that got me into this whole facet of the scene, honestly, was From Under the Cork Tree, Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, why not?
Best with that entire album, start to finish. I know every word to every song all the way through, including the bonus track because I really nerded deep on that. Same thing with Yellow Card. I am a
I'm a big fan.
Yellow Card. Same thing with Newfound Glory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like that mix right there is just everything to me. I love it.
As far as an album that like got me through a really hard time, like as far as like the teenage angst years, I would say the Boxcar Racer album really hits home in a lot of ways because that album from start to finish is just a really nice piece of work too. Like that's one that hits home for me. So I'm gonna say that one.
That's a good one.
Such an eclectic mix as well. Boxcar Racer I haven't heard in years.
I fucking
it's
so good.
That's a cracking album. Are there any you're excited for at the moment? Because I know that obviously with American Idiot, Saviors just came out literally like the other day.
I haven't checked it out yet, but I
It's-
did see that it came out.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
I think a bit long. 15 tracks is a bit long, but
That is a bit long.
but
I'm a huge fan of the band, the 1975.
oh yeah.
They
Yeah,
put
yeah.
out albums with like 18 songs. Like I listen to them in bits. If I have an afternoon where I'm feeling froggy, I'll throw on the whole thing. But no, yeah, I think 10 songs is a good album.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing here, guys?
You know
What's
what's a
going on?
really solid record? Copacetic by Knuckle Puck.
Oh, I was literally listening to that the other week.
I say their
Yeah.
newest
Awesome.
album too.
Yeah,
Newest
good
album
one.
is like really
Yeah.
good.
That one, when Copacetic came out, that one kind of blew all of us away. That was in heavy rotation for everyone.
I think that one collectively sits well with all of us because that album I almost forgot about that. I don't know how,
You're
but
thinking deep on these.
I saw him thinking about it. I'm like, dude, this game's a turn.
Yeah. No, it's crazy because I actually did a reel for the page that like maybe a week ago that had Untitled as the song for it purely because I forgot how long it was. It's like 8 minutes long. Is the full song.
That outro going,
Just keeps going. Oh wow, that's so good though because but all of them have that theme of like deep rooted pop punk songs. Even Turnover, that's a bit more sort of emo shoegaze, has that influence in there as well. And you can tell that all you guys have taken that like those little inspirations on board and just run with it in your songs as well. I think it's great.
I think we all like the same things about all of those albums, so it's really easy to connect and like really focus in on what we all are trying to achieve with our music. What we all like.
It's great. It's really cool. I mean, have you got any UK bands in particular that you would want to come and tour in the US? Because I'm always in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, which US bands are coming here? I think like I'm trying to remember who's coming over now. I think between you and me are doing a tour with Young Culture and Drain, like sometime soon around here. I don't know if you know them, but they'll be around.
I love Drain. You've shown me a few Between You and Me songs, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Between You and Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do.
They're even further away.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
No, I don't know. I haven't had my ear to the floor with too many UK bands. I've recently been listening to a lot of hardcore music. Bands like Drain, bands like Gulch, Tsunami, but they're all like US bands. I've very shamefully not heard too many UK bands.
It's fine. I can represent you on that. I'll get my contacts, see who I can send out.
Sweet.
Hook us up with that UK tour.
I wish I could.
Our buddy Robbie Kent. He's in When Tigers Used to Smoke.
Yes.
They are playing their final show coming up, I believe. They just posted about. They're disbanding. RIP When Tigers Used to Smoke. But Rob Kent, great dude. He told me everybody calls him Kenny. That's a little surprising to me, but he's an awesome dude. We love that guy.
Yeah, I mean, you've given me a reason to go back to that now because I forgot about them. And so you said the name, I was like, oh my god, yes, I remember them.
I was thinking about it. They posted about the show, and I went back and I listened to a couple of their songs. Great band, they'll be missed. It's a shame we weren't able to make it over there to play with them. truthfully.
We'll have to go back.
I'm sure your time will come. Don't you worry. We're very patient for another pop punk band to take the scene, as it were.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll take it by storm.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of storms brewing now, so you can jump in on that one. That's why I'm wearing a hat inside. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting outside. Feral. Well, I mean, that's the kind of aspiration you're looking for, like just coming to the UK, doing all that stuff. But do you have any any turning points or anything very close that you would say is what you want to achieve with the band besides going abroad?
We do have an upcoming opportunity to be in front of a lot of people. I hope it goes really well. I don't want to jinx anything. We're playing at a hockey game, not local. We are Philadelphia Flyers fans when it comes to the NHL. However, the New Jersey Devils, they allow pop punk bands, hardcore bands, really any sort of artist to play during the game, during intermissions. And so we have an opportunity to play during the second intermission at one of the hockey games coming up, February 12th. I'm not sure if this will air between then. I think so, maybe not.
It depends on when we drop one.
But yeah, we'll figure that out. But that's what we have coming up. It is staged as a big opportunity for us. I'm really hoping it can be. But again, I don't want to jinx it, but I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be something different that I personally never thought I would have done.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
It's something totally far out there.
I saw foot in the door.
Was scrolling Instagram. I saw a hardcore band from the area playing there, and I thought, that's fucking dope.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick. Yeah.
It's just those new experiences, isn't it? Like you'll take anything at this point, just whatever happens, as long as it's,
to say the least.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, it's like what could happen, like what's gonna happen at this show, because it's just so different from anything we've ever done, so different from anything that we could do. Like it's a whole new audience that we're opening ourselves up to.
It could be pivotal. It could be another good show. Who knows?
Outside of that, we are hoping, we have loose plans to expand territorial wise, play some shows a little further out there, get our name a little further out there, and just kind of get in the mix. We'll see if they're turning points or not. It's to be determined.
Yeah.
But
We'll find out the fun way, I guess.
yeah. I mean, could be nerves, could be excitement, could be a little bit of both, but it seems, why not?
We're all excited. We're not nervous.
Yeah.
We're excited.
Yeah.
Well, you all look very relaxed on that sofa for people who are exceptionally excited.
Yeah, it's now dark where we live now too. So
Yeah, we're caught up with it.
you were caught
Yeah.
up with darkness.
I still forget that you're in the past. It's like 11:05 here right now in the evening, so it's that's why I've come prepared. I've even said to my boss, I was like, if I come in really tired tomorrow, just know that I was speaking to some guys from New Jersey.
Tell your boss we appreciate them. They're a G for that one.
Oh no, they are. They're great. That's good. Well, I mean, I guess like, what do you have any sort of final comments for your single, for the band, for like the pop punk scene in general? Like, what is it that you would say you're most excited about for the future?
I think whenever we put this song out, 9 months later, there's going to be a baby boom to this song. That's what we got to say about that.
On a personal note, I'm just really glad pop punk scene, at least in our area, is kind of showing itself a pretty strong resurgence recently. Like it kind of died off for a good while here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice to see that a lot of new bands are coming up and a lot of old faces are showing back up, still showing that same love that they had for it 10, 12, 15 years ago. So it's pretty awesome seeing friends that we grew up with coming back to shows, starting new bands, like throwing out ideas that they wrote in 2010.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I never put this out. Here's my new band. We're going to put 2010 tracks out on it. Like, it's beautiful to see a lot of people are kind of snowballing and everyone's kind of coming back into this thing like a horde. And I hope it continues because it just seems to be going in the right progressive direction. I'm not going to work. God damn it.
Poor kid.
Well, it's funny you say that because when you mentioned Knucklepuck, I remember that I can't remember the name of the singer now, but there was the secondary singer for Knucklepuck released their EP, their like solo EP, Bad New World, under that same name. I don't know if you've heard about it yet. But they literally, some guy from Knucklepuck went, I want to do my own thing, and so did. But at the same time, you've got like
Right, you're right. I did see that.
yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, and then
You
you
kind of see his progression from the first album to where they are now.
exactly.
His
And you've
involvement.
Yeah, and you've got like I think Rationale is in there as like a separate one. You've got oh what was the other one called now? Home Safe. That was
Oh,
another Knucklepuck side project as well.
we
and
love
yeah, the story so far as well. I've had like a ton of side projects as well. Like No Pressure. They've done incredibly like Parker's still doing that and getting around and
the
it's
story so far is my favorite band. I love No Pressure. The guitarist, his side project, same side,
same
and
side.
Pile
Big
of Love. They both rip. They're
Elder
so.
Brother as well, I think, isn't it? Is Elder Brother another one? I can't
I
remember
think so. Yeah.
that.
I don't know too much. I just know that the guitarist Kevin is. Oh yeah, Elder Brother. Yeah. He's in that one as well. They, all of them are so good. All of them
Yeah.
are so fucking good. Huge fan of those guys.
Yeah, and I think it's great to see that, as you said, like there's a new resurgence happening of bands just popping up everywhere. I mean, I think I did a thing just the other week of like the top 10 debut singles that came out in the first half of January alone, and they're from all over the world, all in completely different styles, but under the same bracket of we are a pop punk band. But it's so broad now and it's so diverse that like anything is possible with the genre now. It's brilliant.
It feels like all the bands that we play with, we're all pop punk, but we sound nothing alike.
Mm.
It's a really cool array of music that we have in our scene.
What are you hoping for the genre to do besides just continue?
Take back over.
be top pop, yeah.
Yeah, like we said, we're here to make pop punk fun again.
Yeah.
We want to have a good time. We feel like we bring a nice energy to our shows. Like we're always having fun and cause other people to have fun.
Yeah, it's nice to be contagious.
Yeah. And like I think that's what's been lacking from a lot of shows that I've seen. Because I've gone to some shows as a fan for like bigger bands, no one in the scene, but like shows as a fan, and I've been kind of disappointed with like just the vibe of the crowd and like the vibe of how everybody is. And so when we play, I feel like we do a really good job of making sure the vibe is at an all-time high. Everybody's having a good time. Even if we're not feeling our best, we're still giving it our all and making sure that like nothing's left to be disputed. Like we are here to rock. We are here to melt your faces, and we're here to make you dance.
I mean, I'm more than happy to have a face melting session. I could use
Absolutely.
one of them right now. Be great. Well, again, then yeah, as I guess the final point of a sort of a release ramble standpoint, like with Wanted, the upcoming single, when is it out, if we know, and what are you excited about it? Why are you excited to share it with people?
Do we have a date?
I don't know if we have a date yet.
We were planning on the end of February, but I don't think we're gonna make the cut.
February, early March. Not too much longer, but
Like we just got like the master for like back a couple of days ago.
Yeah, very recent.
Wow.
but we'll probably truthfully solidify a date tonight.
Oh, sweet.
We'll figure it out. Like after we do this, like I said, we're gonna do some promo stuff. And then we'll have what we need to, get everything out. But it'll be late February, early March. And as far as what we want to achieve, again, we just want to get in front of as many people. I don't think any of our songs really sound too similar to each other. So I think each one has a new opportunity for someone else to be like, hey, I like what they're doing here.
I like that they don't all sound similar, but when you listen to them, you can be like, that's definitely Wishful.
Right.
Like it has a sound, but they all sound different, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. No, but they're all unique in their own way, but you know for a fact that they come under the Wishful Thinking name.
Right. Absolutely.
Nice. No, I love it. And I think, I mean, I haven't heard it yet, so it could be the best thing since, well, What You Don't See, or the story so far self-titled, or copacetic, who knows? But all I know is that from Water Bottle, which as you saw I wrote about and loved, I can only imagine that the next one's going to be just as, if not better. So I can only wish you the very best of luck with the release in a month and a bit. I forgot what day it was. I was trying to remember when I was recording this, but then I realized that it's like way earlier than I was meant to, but that's fine.
Future, bro. Remember,
Yeah,
the future.
Yeah, I'm 5 hours ahead, or 2 weeks. Who knows? Time is relative. Maybe I'm not 5 hours ahead. Maybe you're just 5 hours behind. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, thank you very much, gents, for coming on. It's been lovely. Just having.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, it's been brilliant. And yeah, obviously, single comes out late February, March. And then you've got some secrets that you're hiding from us for things in the future as well. So
Be secretive.
yeah, sounds very exciting. Well, yeah, I wish you the best of luck. I hope it all goes to plan, as it were, whatever the plan is.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, hopefully.